It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you tonight. But before I go into my story, and tonight the topic of my speech is going to be overcoming adversity to reach your dream. How many of you in this room today is living your dream? Raise your hand. If you're living your dream right now, raise your hand. But you're going to have some challenges in your life that you got to overcome to achieve those dreams. So before I get into my story, I want to share a story about the greatest athlete I knew. His name was Earl Cleaver. And I always want to beat him in the race. 7th grade, Earl shows up late. Me and my buddies are laughing because Earl shows up. He has a black trash bag over his shoulder. He show up, he don't have any shoes on. So we're all laughing, say, today we're going to beat Earl in the 100 meters. But then we look over to our right and we see his coach, because a great athlete, they did things for us. So he had a pair of spikes for Earl. So we thought we were going to lose the race, but Earl turned down the spikes. So we started laughing again. And we got down in our stance to run this race. And we thought we were going to win because we thought Earl was barefooted because he didn't take the spikes from his coach. Boom, the gun go off. We're running 100 meters. Earl passes us all. He's waiting on us at the finish line because Earl has already run the race, and then he's smiling. And we all felt like we was going to win that race. And we looked down at Earl's feet. And the coach had the shoes, says, Earl, why didn't you use these spikes to win? He says, the reason I didn't use the spikes is because in my black bag, I use the shoes that my mama gave me, and I do the best when my mama gives me these shoes. And guess what they were? Some cowboy boots. He won the race in the cowboy boots. He had a scholarship to the University of TCU in the quarter. He was the fastest guy in the state of Texas. And he was so excited to go to TCU because his father lived there, and he spent his first 17 years in Odessa with his mother. And he loved his mother, so he worked extra. So whenever he graduated, he was going to give her a gift. And for Christmas, he bought her a TV and a VCR so she can watch her favorite shows. One night, Earl comes home from work, working at a Pizza Hut after track practice. And he's really upset because the TV's gone. And his mom's sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette. And he comes in and says, Mama, where's the TV? Where's the VCR? Did somebody break in the house and steal it? She goes, no, Earl, I sold it. He says, Mama, well, why would you sell the TV? What did you do with the money? And then on the table, it was crack cocaine. And Earl got upset with his mother, and he grabbed the crack, and he ran to the bathroom and was flushing it down the commode. And his mother ran behind him, said, don't flush my. Pow! The gun goes off. Shoot Earl in the back of the head. He dies at 17. The greatest athlete I knew. So when you go out there tomorrow in your spat, when you go out there on your wristband, you got a name of somebody that you're playing for. Some might be a grandmother. Some it might be a player that didn't get to live his dream to be in this room. That's who you're doing it for. That's why I speak for. I share Earl's story when I go around the world because he was the greatest athlete I knew, and he don't get to do what I get to do.
You got a great speaker come in. These are the things that kind of let these guys to relax. They have been working all week on their opponent. Now it's time for them to get mentally ready. Is it anything for your last little bit you want to go over? Anything that you don't understand? Any type of little motivation that you need because you are ready, fired up, and eager to go play a great game?
Same city, same town, known for football and oil. I'm 17, playing football at my local high school, running back #1. But that career was over quick as it started because I was accused of a crime. And I went to jail. But the thing about when I went to jail, guess who was waiting on me in jail? It was my mama. She was locked up at the same time I was on her way to prison. So I go into the visitation room and I said, but mama, I didn't do what they said I did. I can get life. And she said, me too, baby, and turned and walked away. So now I go back to my jail cell and I tell everybody in my cell, when I get out of here, I'm gonna go to college. When I get out of here, I'm going to the pros. They would laugh at me. They say, Tiki, nobody gets out of jail and go to the pros or go to college. I said, I'm different. 6 months later, I got out. I started working at a local dealership, washing cars for minimum wage. I'm 18, 19. Then I went to the local community college because I didn't want people to say, what is Tiki Davis doing with his life? I didn't want to be known as a car washer. So I started taking remedial classes because I was behind. But a few years later, that owner of the dealership came to me and said, Tiki, I want to invest in you. My first thing called the Earth Angel. He said, I want to send you to college. So that next semester, I found myself at a university again, scoring touchdowns, and this dream called NFL was eligible again. The dream that the mama put the ball in my hand, it was a reality again. But that mama that I love so much, she was in prison still. So after 2 years of playing college, and many of you are gonna have this fate, either you graduate or you're gonna have this man-to-man conversation when you look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, are you good enough? So at the age of 23, I had to put down the football and I picked up the books because I realized I just didn't want to be a player on the field of athletics. I want to be a player in life.
My team needs to hear this. And what better time would be, when it's a big homecoming weekend here in the city of Jackson. So the things that he had to overcome, and that's what I talk about our team with adversity. All the situations he went through growing up and him having that goal and end dream of being in the NFL for life. And I talk to my players about it all the time. That's only a small part of life, and what's after football. That's what his testimony was all about. There's so many other avenues you can go about as far as being successful in life besides sports.
But I still had work to do. The commitment was still the commitment. So I had to go back to school and graduate, the first in my family to get a bachelor's degree. That was the commitment to life. And from that time to this time, I've educated myself. I got a master's degree. From that time to this time, I got a PhD because I wanted to be something different. And I put in the work to do that. Then, all y'all seen the movie Friday Night Lights? It was a room of great athletes like you. I went and tried out. I had a minor in theater, and my theater teacher always said, if you get an audition, it's like a first impression. You never get a second chance. So I went in there, and I beat out a room of great actors, and I won the role as Dallas Call, team captain in the movie Friday Night Lights. And I made it to Hollywood. After making $100 a day as an extra, I was upgraded to a principal role. So I went into the oil and gas business where I'm from. That's what's big. And I went to every place, and I had a master's degree from college. Nobody would give me a job. Then this one independent oil company said, Tiki, we'll give you a job. With a master's degree from college, they only offered me $13 an hour. But I took it, and I learned all the engineering things. And in 6 years, I quit, and I started my own company. I was making $1 million a year. Then I took that $1 million, and I invested in the hood that I got stabbed in the neck in, and I bought it. And I started building affordable housing. Then I went to the failing black business, and I bought 2 barbecue restaurants. Then I bought some 18-wheelers in the oil and gas business. Then I said, man, God has blessed me. This is too good to keep to myself. I had millions in the bank, but something was still missing, this thing that God gave you at birth. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about my name, right? When you're born, you look like your mother and you look like your father. When you die, you look like your decisions. Othello in Shakespeare, and it's a phrase in there that says, he who steals my money steals trash, but he who steals my good name steals my fortune. So if I leave you guys with anything today, it's protect your good name. Because if you get in trouble and do anything out of character, they're not gonna say your name first. They're gonna say Jackson State football player Tavon White. So now you're not only embarrassing the university, you're embarrassing your family. It's 2 times. Because I'm saying you in this room, you leaning on the back of Hall of Famers sitting in the back room, the Walter Paytons. Jackson State stands for something. Now when you put this in, you living your dream, it's bigger than you. Understand that. Now I'm gonna leave you with this. Put this in your phone, write it in your notes any way you have. How did I do it? If I don't leave you no takeaways, how to do it in your own life, I'm not nothing to you. It's worthless for me coming in here to speak to you. My name is Tiki Davis. I came up with the Tiki Factor principles. That's what I travel by. That's my name, the Tiki Factor. My name is spelled T-I-K-I. The T stands for
Total commitment. I talk to my team as well about commitment all the time. You made a commitment to be great here at Jackson State and go out here and be the best football player you wanted to be, so be committed to it, but that was the one that stood out to me.
The next thing in the Tiki Factor is imagination. I want you to live from your imagination, not your history. My history said I would die in prison like my mother. My history said I wouldn't be a first-generation millionaire. My history said those things wouldn't happen to me. The next thing is the K, kindred spirits. The people around you affect you, depending on who they are and what they do is gonna affect you in that type of way. Be accountable for your surroundings, fellas. And the last I is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. And if you apply those TIKI principles to your life, you'll win. And you can't win today's game with yesterday's touchdown. That's my time, and I thank you for yours. I'm the TIKI Factor. I'm out.